we're going to focus on the fear of failure. So if you have the fear of failure, stay until the end and we will reprogram it. Okay, so it's 10 actually in Japan, America here, amazing, Canada, good evening Canada. All right, and it's very early morning in India. Martin, you are a very late person. It is 2 a.m. right in Germany right now. It's very late. Cool. So who has the fear of failure? I'm curious how many of you wants to reprogram this fear, because once again this webinar is about reprogramming the fear of failure. It's not going to be about, I don't know, sharing informations or details or philosophy or theory. We're going to do some practices where I'm going to help you to reprogram the fear of failure, and actually I'm going to take some participants from the audience to bring them on stage here, and I'm going to apply the technique on each one of you. I mean, not all of you have to go on stage, but I will need at least 3 people to come on stage to do a special exercise which is called a digging exercise, where we're going to find out what is behind those fears that you have in your subconscious mind, especially the fear of failure. So I'm curious, you can write in the chat how intense it is, the fear of failure for you from 0 to 10 when you think about it right now. You know, it's very important with this method, and when we work with the subconscious mind, to be very pragmatical and to calculate and measure everything. So we want to measure and quantify the result. That's why you need to see how intense it is in the beginning and how intense it is after we apply the technique. Some people are using, for example, muscle testing, but I believe that is a little bit more complicated to do muscle testing on all of the people like this. But you can, if you can think about of a fear and you can put the finger on it and you feel a negative reaction, like a negative emotional reaction when you think about that fear is definitely there. When you think about the fear of failure, for example, in this case, yeah, give it a deep thought, think about it, yeah, bring it to the surface and see how intense and true it is, the fear of failure from 0 to 10 in the beginning. And I want all of you actually to write in the chat how intense and true it is, that fear from 0 to 10, all of you. Okay, we have Lissy from London, welcome. So that is 9, 8, 7, 8. Okay, so it's quite intense for everybody. So I want all of you actually, as I said, to write in the chat how intense and true it is, the fear of failure from 0 to 10 when you think about it. Okay, so it's quite high for everybody, 9, 8, 9 to 10. Francesco is just 4, but even a 4 is okay to reprogram it. I mean, when it's usually a 4, it doesn't control you that much. So please write, all of you, in the chat how intense and true it is, the fear of failure from 0 to 10 when you think about it. It's very important to measure it in the beginning, because you're going to see this method that I'm going to apply to you actually has 3 steps. The first one is to become aware of the problem. Yeah, so this is how we become aware. This is the first step of awareness, to see how intense it is from 0 to 10. And then we gonna make some verbal commands where I'm gonna apply the technique to reprogram that fear specifically. And at the end, we're gonna measure and quantify. And we're gonna see how intense it is, the fear after. This is a very powerful and important step that most of the people that are working on themselves, that are doing therapies and then trying to better their lives by doing a lot of manifestation and practices and therapies are not doing. They don't measure and quantify the results. That's why you can wake up after 3 or 4 years of discipline and therapy that you feel at the same level. And I'm going to share with you actually a very powerful exercise to do an evaluation of all of your fears and limiting beliefs from your subconscious mind. It's a very powerful exercise, that once you see all of the fears that you have in your subconscious mind, you will know how much you still have to work until you be totally free. So guys, welcome. I think it's time to start. I mean, I have already one slide here. So welcome everybody. Once again, today we're gonna work on the fear of failure. Yeah. But let's start from the beginning. As you can see, I have created some slides here to be easier for you to follow. So at the end of this webinar, you will feel an instant transformation in your life that you never thought possible. And to give you more clarity, we're gonna take the fear of failure until we reprogram it completely, and you're not gonna be able to think about it, and you will see that it will lower significantly and it will be reprogrammed from your life. You're going to be able to see, to measure, and to quantify the results. And by the way, if you stay until the end, you will be able to register for a free private session with me or one of my facilitators to also experience the technique one-on-one, because in this webinar, I'm going to apply the technique one to many, which is also very powerful. So what is the schedule of this webinar? Very simple. In the first part, you will understand how the method works. So I'm going to share a little bit of knowledge and information about who I am, about what the method does, about what is the subconscious mind, to give you more clarity. And then on the second part, I'm going to apply the technique on all of you present here. Yeah, I'm going to do some group and individual reprogramming session. And as I said, I will need at least 3 people to come on stage, but I will ask you, I'm going to send you a request to some of you that wants to come here to do a special digging exercise. And at the end, we can do a Q&A. Yeah, easy. It's just 9 a.m. here for me now. So I have enough time to do a Q&A and to answer to all of your questions. And if you want to see results, very important, be present, make sure you won't be disturbed, turn off your social media and other distractions, and be fully engaged in this process. This webinar will take about 1 hour from now, and we might gonna continue with the Q&A after that. But in maximum 1 hour, I'm gonna help all of you to reprogram the fear of failure. And even if you watch this video as a recording, you're still gonna be able to experience the technique if you follow this 4 important principles, to be present and to be engaged and so on. So why do we program the subconscious mind? Yeah, this is the first question. Because 95% of your actions, thoughts, emotions comes from your subconscious programs and not from conscious choice. That means what? That 95% of the thoughts and emotions you had yesterday and a week ago, you're going to have them today and tomorrow and so on. And everything is basically repeating all of your behavior, your emotional reactions are controlled by your subconscious mind, are controlled by the memory that you have registered in your subconscious mind throughout your life. And we have also about 50,000 thoughts per day, and 80% of those thoughts are negative. Yeah, and it's very powerful to reprogram them. And how do you decrease this intensity of the negative thoughts? You basically just reprogram the programs, the fears from your subconscious mind, and you don't need to force the positive thinking. If you want to force the positive thinking and the manifestation, it's not going to work. Perhaps you've tried positive thinking and affirmations. Everybody raise your hand who have tried positive thinking and affirmations, and you will see that is not working. And this is actually one of the main benefits of applying the mental reprogramming technique. It will help you to think positively and to have positive reactions naturally without forcing anything, because any negative thought or negative emotion that you have, perhaps you saw that is not new. It is an old emotion, it is an old thought, it's an old familiar reaction that you had in the past. Yeah, because all of those negative emotions are not coming from the present, are coming from a past trauma or a past negative emotions that were stored in your subconscious mind, and you keep repeating in the same cycle. So that's why it's important to reprogram the memory of the subconscious mind, especially the emotional memory, so that you will be emotionally free and you're not going to have as many negative emotions and as many negative thoughts throughout the day. This is the main benefit of actually reprogram the subconscious mind, to think positively in a natural way without forcing anything. Yeah, because as you can see, 95% of the thoughts and emotions that you have every day are on repeat. You don't control them. You cannot control the mind. Yeah, but what you can control is the reactions that you have. You cannot control what is happening in your life, but you can control the reactions, and to control that, you have to reprogram literally the memory that is there. And without reprogramming, obviously you will keep living the same story every day with just a different scenario. So what is the mental reprogramming technique? It's a very simple method with which you can release any negative emotions and anxiety instantly. You can change any limiting beliefs or fears, and this is what we're going to do today. Actually, we're going to work on the fear of failure. Yeah, and the most amazing part about this technique is actually that you can see the results instantly. This is the main ingredient that have created such a community around this method, that you see the results instantly. It doesn't matter if you had a fear, a trauma, or a blockage in your life for, I don't know, 30 years every day, and you felt it every day. It doesn't matter. After we apply the technique, you will see that you will not be able to feel it or to think it, and this is very powerful. This is an experience actually that is worth having. Yeah, and it's easy to learn and practice by everyone. By the way, I don't have any special powers. You can learn this technique very easy, and you can apply it on yourself, on your life, to transform your life very easily. And we have over 3,500 testimonials and case studies in the last 3 years, and over 130 free workshops with live demonstrations similar to what we do now, but most of them are in Romania. I'm going to also share my YouTube channel in English, so you can see all of the 6 webinars that I've done so far in English, and we have 2,000 students that have learned the technique around the world. But let's start with my story to share a little bit about myself, yeah, so we can connect a little bit better. So my name is Emanuel. I'm 32 years old. I am from Romania, and in this moment in my life, I live an extraordinary life. I am financially and emotionally free since over 8 years. I'm traveling the world. I'm in Bali right now. I have amazing relationships, and I literally wake up with joy and enthusiasm every day, and I go to sleep with joy and enthusiasm every day. And I can let my mind think of any situation from the past, from the present, and from the future, and I cannot literally find any negative emotions anymore in my mind. Yeah, and I call this level of consciousness emotional freedom, and I will also show you how it's possible to be emotionally free, because it's very logical. Yeah, if you keep practicing, yeah, and you keep releasing all the negative emotions and the fears that you have in your subconscious mind, at some point there will be no more fears and no more negative emotions to feel. And this is actually a powerful state to be in. But obviously my life wasn't always like this. As I said, I grew up in Romania, into a complex family where I grew up with a lot of domestic violence and scandals and poverty. And my father made me my mistake, and he was rejecting me always. He was an alcoholic, and he was telling me to leave the house every day, and how happy was he if he wasn't there. And I also faced hunger many days when I was young. And I had social anxiety and panic attacks until I was 26 years old. Literally, like every day from the morning to the evening, I felt social anxiety. Even when I was in London and I was a student, literally every day I was walking on the street, I was going with the train, I was going into any shops. Yeah, the seller was looking into my eyes, and I literally felt panic attacks. And even though I was working so hard on myself, I still feel the social anxiety until I was 26 years old every day, and it was very painful. I was humiliated and bullied in all the social environments I was in, even at school, even when I was a teenage. It was very painful for me to go through the life, because I had this negative emotional memory in my mind, in my subconscious mind, that I was feeling it every day, and I was attracting also situations of such where I was rejected, where I was bullied, where I was humiliated, because this was my programming, this was the memory of my subconscious mind. That's what I received when in my early days, and that's what I perceive as being the normal reality. And I also had big problems with attention and memory when I was younger. For example, I couldn't remember never the homework that the teachers were giving us at school, because I had so many traumas that my brain was literally damaged. And after obviously healing that, now I consider myself actually a smart person and successful. And anything is possible to be healed, even if you have mental problems or problems with attention and memory. Anything can be healed if you work enough with your subconscious mind. And actually this is me, 8 years difference, and I was actually same height. I was 1.86 centimeters tall, and here I was 62 kilograms in the left hand side picture, and on the right hand side, this was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where I am 82 kilos. So it's same height but 20 kilograms later, because when you have social anxiety, actually you are very skinny, because the body that you have is a reflection of the programming that you have in your subconscious mind. And perhaps you notice that, even the face, the characteristics of your body, of your face, of your health is also related to your subconscious mind. And also because because I woke up spiritually since I was actually 13 years old, and I started to work a lot of myself. I started to read a lot of books, and it was a long period of about 6 years where I've done so much self-development and practices and therapies, and I was so desperate to heal myself that I remember I couldn't sleep at night if I knew that in that day I wasn't doing something important and significant to change and improve my life. And I was doing a lot of therapies, as I said, EFT tapping, Psyche, Theta healing, timeline healing, writing a lot in the journal. I've done even ayahuasca 24 times. I was paying a lot of money to a lot of retreats to healers, going to a lot of workshops and webinars, literally every day, because I was desperate to heal myself and to release finally, the social anxiety and the poverty that was following me literally every day like a curse. And actually, after a lot of self-development and spiritual practices and therapies, I came to the conclusion that not a lot of things are working. And I was looking in myself, after so many years of discipline, I was still kind of at the same level. And this is actually the story that everybody is coming to me and is telling me the same. Man, I've done a lot of manifestation exercises, a lot of therapies, a lot of practices, a lot of affirmations since years, and I've watched a lot of webinars and tried to better my life and read books, and I am still at the same level. And I will show you in a moment why, because most of the people, they cannot measure and quantify the results. And what changed, in my life was this awareness that once I understand and I put on the paper literally all the fears and limiting beliefs that I have in my subconscious mind, and I had exactly the clear map of what's in my subconscious mind, because the theory is simple. If your life is controlled 95% of your subconscious mind, then the first thing to do is to become aware and to find out what is inside your subconscious mind. And once I realized that and I saw how many fears and limiting beliefs I had, I started working on all of them until literally I reprogrammed everything that I could possibly find. And I put together all the knowledge and the practices and the theories that I had about all of the work that I've done on myself, and I created this technique that is working amazingly on me, on others. And actually in the last 3 years I started to applying it on others, and I had a huge wave of people that were telling me, hey, please help me too. And that's why I created this course. Now we are starting sharing it in English. As I said, mainly in Romania. I created a huge community, and this is where we are now. This is my story. I hope I'm not boring you with the story. And also very shortly we're gonna go to do that powerful exercise to find out what's inside your subconscious mind and to become aware of all of the fears and limiting beliefs, and you will see what a powerful exercise that is. So what are the results of the subconscious reprogramming? First of all, it's not about manifestation or trying to control life, but it's about changing your automatic reactions. And I give this example every time. For example, you can have $500,000 in your bank account right now, yeah, but you also gonna have anxiety, fears. You're gonna have the fear of failure. You're gonna have the fear that you're gonna lose. You're gonna have a bad and toxic relationships and so on. So you can have money, but you can have a negative programming in your subconscious mind. And on another scenario, you can have only $5,000 in your bank account, but you're gonna be emotionally free. You're gonna wake up with joy and enthusiasm every day. You're gonna have amazing relationships, a good self-esteem, and you're gonna feel amazing every day. What would you prefer? This is the question. So it's not about how much money you have or what you manifest in your life, but it's about the way you react, first of all, to what is happening in your life. This is what the subconscious mind, the subconscious reprogramming does. Because, for example, I cannot guarantee or promise you that if I reprogram all that list with main fears and limiting beliefs, you're gonna be a millionaire. I cannot guarantee that, but what I can guarantee, if you're gonna reprogram all of your subconscious mind, you're gonna have an extraordinary life, and you're gonna have amazing relationships, a good self-esteem. You're gonna feel positive every day, full of joy and enthusiasm, and you're gonna have such a beautiful life. This is my promise to you, and you're gonna live in abundance without thoughts of lack and need and so on. So this is what the reprogramming the subconscious mind does. Yeah, when you reprogram your subconscious, you don't have to force yourself to think positively or to stay motivated. Yeah, it's gonna happen naturally. And by the way, once again, we cannot control the things that are happening in our life, but we can control the way we react to what is happening in our life. This is a very powerful quote. Okay, so we are already at, okay, I'm gonna close the comments now so you can see properly the list with main fears and limiting beliefs. And by the way, guys, let's take a deep breath and to become a little bit more aware, more present. I know that when I start talking, I speak with a lot of enthusiasm. So maybe I speak too fast, but let's take another deep breath and let's integrate all of the information that I shared so far, so that we can focus better on this exercise, because this is very important. And by the way, when you register for the free session at the end of the webinar, you're going to receive the full list with main fears and limiting beliefs, because this is not the full. This is just for the presentation, this list. So the theory is like this. If you want a powerful, long-lasting transformation in your life, what you have to do is to reprogram all of your subconscious mind. And this exercise will help you to identify everything that's inside your subconscious mind. Imagine it's like when you go to the doctor, the first thing that you do is some analysis. You do some blood tests to see exactly what are the issues and what are the problems. And then the doctor gives you the solution. It's the same when you work with the subconscious mind. You need to find out exactly what fears and limiting beliefs you have inside there. And what you have to do is literally to write next to each fear how intense and true it is for you on a scale of intensity from 0 to 10. For example, as you said about the fear of failure, the topic of our webinar today, and you mentioned how intense it is. And the same with literally every fear and limiting belief, how intense it is, the belief that I'm not good enough, that I don't trust myself. You have to become aware of all of the problems and programs that are in your subconscious mind. And here is the trick. If another 6 months or 1 year have passed and none of these fears have been lowered in intensity, your life will be exactly the same. So you have to make sure that all of these fears and limiting beliefs are decreasing in value and disappearing completely. And as I said, Once you reprogram all of this list, and even though it might seem like, oh, I have a lot of fears, I have a lot of blockages, and I don't know how to reprogram them, you're going to see how simple and easy it is actually to apply this technique, to learn it, and to reprogram all of your life. Usually with the people that I work with, we do maximum 6 private sessions to reprogram literally all of your life and all of your subconscious mind. But you're going to find out how you can do that in the private free session that you're going to be able to register at the end of this webinar. So guys, even though I saw some people, they don't take in consideration that much this exercise, but if you care about your life, if you want to better your life and to have more success, you have to take in consideration doing this exercise with the fears and limiting beliefs. And it's also helping you if you, for example, practice another therapies or another, I don't know, disciplines. Is also going to help you to quantify and to measure the results. And it's actually good to do maybe this exercise once every, I don't know, 6 months or every year, to see how much did I evolve in the last 6 months. Maybe you want to say to yourself, I'm going to do meditations and affirmations for 6 months every day. Okay, but in the beginning, do the exercise with the list with main fears and limiting beliefs in the beginning and after, so you can see if this will work for you. But I'm telling you from now, that's not going to work. Yes, Fatima, it's very powerful to realize what's inside your subconscious mind. So once again, at the end of the webinar, you're going to be able to register for a free private session, and I'm going to send you the list there. So how does the technique works? Simple, 3 simple steps. The first one is to identify what's inside the subconscious mind, and I showed you with the list, how simple it is to become aware of your blockages, because there is no change without awareness. So the first step is to become aware, and then to give a command. And why do we give verbal commands? Because if you haven't found out yet, the subconscious mind does not listen to affirmations, to positive thinking, to wishful thinking, to intentions, to praying, but it obeys to commands. It is, even Tony Robbins is talking about how to command your subconscious mind, and there are many literatures that you can find about how to command the subconscious mind, but none of them are gonna be as effective as this command that I'm gonna do to you, and I'm gonna give you more clarity of how this method works, because it took me many years to assemble this method and to apply it and to improve it. About after I applied it in over 10,000 people, I've been improving it and transforming it to be so simple and so effective. And the last, third step is to confirm the change. So every time we do this work, very pragmatical and very present, we see how intense it is, the fear in the beginning, we apply the technique, and then we check at the end. So very important, we don't, I don't know, do a chaotic work like how a lot of people are doing, doing a lot of energy healing therapy or whatever, or throwing a lot of therapies or disciplines in there with the hope that maybe one day something will change in my life. No, you have to be very pragmatical. If the fear of the future is at the same intensity, for example, your anxiety will be the same. So it's very important when you work with the subconscious mind to be very pragmatical, to measure and to quantify the results. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. And by the way, with this technique, we don't use entities, external powers, positive thinking, auto-suggestions, hypnosis. We use the power of our consciousness to change ourselves, and that's it. Very simple. And by the way, no one has ever complained about changing their subconscious mind. I've applied this technique, as I said, in over 10,000 people so far in the last years, and nobody complained. So you are in good hands. So we have arrived at the demonstrations. All right. Let's take another deep breath in. Let's see who is ready to experience the mental reprogramming technique. I'm going to take a little bit of water. All right. So let's take some people here to reprogram these fears. Okay, Martin, I see that your fear of the. And by the way, I'm gonna ask at least 3 people to come on stage. So I'm gonna send you a request to come on the studio. If you want to accept it, accept it. So I send you already the invitation. I think you need to accept it, and I will bring you on the stage to do a powerful exercise. It is an exercise actually to help you identify what is behind this fear, and I will give you more clarity why is this exercise important. So by the way, guys, did you receive the invitation to come here on stage? How do we change the internal dialogue or narrative? Yeah, so the mental conversation that you have in your mind is also controlled by the subconscious mind. So once you reprogram, for example, the fear of the failure, you're going to be able to change your inner dialogue. By the way, guys, did you receive the request to come on the studio, to come on stage here with me to do this exercise? Because we're not using Zoom for this webinar, so it might be a little bit different. So anybody has received the, or please write in the chat who wants to come on stage and to do a special exercise which is called the digging exercise to see what is behind these fears. Because here is another powerful secret. The fears are not individual. The fears are connected to other fears. And if you want to reprogram one fear, we need to go to the root of the fear to see exactly what is the story in your subconscious mind and to reprogram all of those programs. So for example, behind the fear of failure, it might be, I don't know, the fear that you're gonna have no money, you cannot survive, or you cannot feed your family, or you're gonna be on the streets, or you're gonna die, or you're gonna get ill. So we need to find out and to discover exactly and precisely what fears are behind this fear and to reprogram them. So please write in the chat who wants to go on stage and to do this exercise. Because I've sent some requests, but perhaps you either haven't received them. Okay, so we have Rebecca.
Hi, Emanuel.
Hi, how are you, Rebecca?
I am good, and I'm excited to try doing something different.
Okay, amazing. So guys, whoever wants to do also this exercise, you can write in the chat and I will invite you on stage. Congratulations for the courage, Rebecca. I mean, not necessarily big courage. Tell me, where are you right now? What city, what
Uh,
part of the world?
I am in Austin, Texas, so I'm in the USA, and
Okay,
it's currently 7:31.
okay. So it's evening there.
Yes,
Okay, Rebecca, tell me how intense it is, the fear of failure from 0 to 10 when you think about it.
I would say that for me, the fear of failure is probably at about an 8, maybe even a 9.
Okay, so it's quite intense. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do next. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions and I want you to answer only with the first words that are coming to your mind without giving me explanations. And if you try to give me explanations, I will stop you. And the
Okay.
purpose of these questions is to find out what is behind this fear. Yeah. So tell me, what is the worst that can happen if you will fail and if you failed?
Deep, a deep unhappiness, just a feeling of not being complete or not.
Okay, and what is the worst that can happen if you are unhappy and incomplete?
Failure to me just basically is not something that I find acceptable. It
Okay, so tell me, so don't give me explanations, Rebecca. Tell me just
okay.
the first words that are coming to your mind, and leave aside the positive thinking. You have to go in the subconscious mind and to see the narrative that is there. So leave aside the positive thinking and tell me just the first words that are coming to your mind. What is the words that can happen if you fail? Then you are unhappy and incomplete.
A feeling of self-destruction.
And what is the worst that can happen if you have this feeling of self-destruction?
I'll have no desire to go forward.
And what is the worst that can happen if you have no desire to go forward and to live?
I will I will no longer want to live. I won't want to exist anymore.
And what is the worst that can happen if you don't want to live or to exist?
I might inflict self-harm.
What is that? Can you repeat?
I said I may inflict self-harm.
And what is the worst that can happen if you're gonna harm yourself?
It just be very painful.
And what is the worst that can happen if you are in pain and suffering?
Loss of desire to live, to exist, just want to die.
Okay? And what is the worst that can happen if you die? The first words that are coming to your mind.
The first word that came to my mind was just release.
Okay. And when you think about the fear of failure, do you feel any negative emotions right now, like a heaviness in your chest or an emptiness in your stomach? Do you feel any
I
negative
would,
sensation
yes,
anywhere in your body?
very heavy in the middle of my chest and through
In
my
the
heart
solar
area.
plexus or in the chest?
Yes,
And it's like a fear or an anxiety. What emotion do you feel in the chest?
I would say it feels like I have a very, like a rock almost sitting on top of me.
Okay. And it's like a fear basically.
hmm
And how intense you feel this emotion from 0 to 10 right
I'd
now?
say 10 plus.
Okay, oh wow, so it's very intense. Okay, Rebecca, thank you so much for the exercise. I want you to continue to be on the stage, and I want to also bring another participant to do this exercise. And after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the technique on you and all of the participants to reprogram what we find on your subconscious mind. And I want you to share how you feel after we apply the technique. Yeah. So please stay on stage for another 10 minutes until I finish the exercise and I finish applying the technique, and we will see how you feel after. Okay. If you want
Thank
to
you.
close the camera, you can close it, but please remain on stage. Don't go. And also, I want to invite somebody else on stage. So, who wants to come to do this exercise? Okay, Angela, for example, has the fear to apply to a new job. So, just write in the chat if you want to come on stage and to do this exercise, and I will invite you. I will send you a request to come, even though I sent to some of you. And I want to do this exercise with at least somebody else. So if you want to experience the technique a little bit deeper, you can come on stage to do this exercise. Very simple. The digging exercise. So you can write in the chat whoever wants to come, and I will invite you. I will also close Rebecca's microphone. So anybody wants to come on stage? Okay, I send you a request, Angela, and I think something will pop up in your screen and you have to accept it. Okay, Fatima also wants to come. I send you the invitation, and I think you need to accept it. There should be something popping up on your screen, like do you want to come on stage or something like that, right? And you just need to accept it, and then I will invite you here. Did something appeared, Angela or Fatima, on your screen? Okay, so we have Fatima coming up. Hi, Fatima.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm good.
Fantastic. Good to see you here. Where
Thank you
are
for
you?
having
Where
me.
are you from? Where are you right now?
Toronto.
Toronto. Okay, amazing. Let me write you here. So Fatima, congratulations for the courage to come here. Please tell me how intense it is, the fear of failure from 0 to 10 when I think about it right now.
Um, like I said in the chat, I think I wrote 7 to 8, like 7.5.
7.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to reprogram it?
Pardon?
Do you want to reprogram this fear?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. So this is what we're gonna do next. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, and I want you to answer only with the first words that are coming to your mind, similar to what I've done to Rebecca. So tell me, what is the worst that can happen if you will fail? And you failed.
Um, like rejection.
You can tell me like a sentence. I will be rejected, or I'm
Oh,
rejected. So
yeah,
what is the word?
like I'd feel rejected from society.
And what is the worst that can happen if you are rejected from society?
Um, I'd feel left out.
And what is the worst that can happen if you are left out?
Um, Uh, yeah, I it's a tough one. Hmm. I guess I would feel inadequate.
And what is the worst that can happen if you are inadequate?
I would feel just um like pensive, like really down.
And what is the worst that can happen if you feel very down?
Um, I'd not want to try. I'd give up. Um, I wouldn't have the energy to go on.
And what is the worst that can happen if you give up?
Um, well, I would just basically feel lost. My cause for
And what
living
is the worst?
even. Yeah.
And what is the worst that can happen if you're lost and you have no reason for living?
Um I don't know.
Okay, when you think about this fear, do you feel any negative emotion right now, like a heaviness in your chest or an emptiness in your stomach? Do you feel any negative emotion anywhere in your body when you think about the fear of failure?
Mm, not really, like somewhat.
Okay, so you don't have any negative reactions in the body when you think about the fear of failure.
I feel a little bit, but not
Okay,
that much
okay, it's fine.
like
So perhaps
before.
it's only
Yeah.
at the mental level. Okay, so let's bring. So thank you so much, Fatima. You can stay on stage, as I said, and we will see how you feel after. And I will also bring Angela on stage right now to do the digging exercise, and then we're gonna do the commands. Hi, Angela.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Where are you from?
Australia.
Amazing. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How intense it
Almost
is the fear of
lunchtime.
failure from 0 to
For
10?
me, it's a lack of confidence. It's I just don't feel like I'm turned 50, and I just don't feel like I can. Um, I'm worthy to be able to go for other positions, jobs. Just lack of confidence for me is my
Okay. But tell,
yeah.
tell me how intense it is the fear of failure from 0 to 10 when you think about it.
It's a 9 for me. It's pretty high. Sometimes I
Okay.
feel confident in my mind, but then when I go to go forward with it, then I push myself down, and I don't. My inner brain tells me I'm not worthy. I can't do it.
Okay. That's fine. So, Angela, again, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and I want you to answer only with the first words to do this digging exercise. So, tell me,
Yeah,
what is the worst that can happen if you failed?
rejection. I'm terrible at that.
And what is the worst that can happen if you are rejected?
Um, Feeling less worthy, not feeling like you can do it, not feeling
And what is the worst that can happen if you are not worthy?
just a blow to my confidence, like feeling useless again. Inadequate.
And what is the worst that can happen if you are useless and inadequate?
Just not trying again, giving up. Just to give up.
And what is the worst that can happen if you give up?
Yeah, I think you would just go into like a deep sadness, like a really uncomfortable sadness. Yeah.
And what is the worst that can happen if you will always be sad and in depression?
You will never try again. I just can't try again. I give up. Just won't do it. Just won't go through anymore. Just forget about it. Just don't feel like I'm confident enough to be able to, not worthy, just feeling unworthy, just self-doubt.
Okay, and what is the worst that can happen if this will always happen to you?
No, I'll never try. I give up. I just won't try anymore.
Okay, and what is the worst that can happen if you will never try again?
Just not, just feeling always bad about myself. I think just not feeling good about myself, feeling less of a person, not showing where I fit in. Just don't know.
And do you feel any negative emotion when you think about this fear, like an emptiness
Yes.
in your chest, or what do you feel?
Um, Definitely just not capable. Just not capable of doing anything. Yep.
But what negative emotion do you feel in the body? What part of the body do you feel them?
Did you tension through everything, like just like tension and stress and like just guarded, very guarded.
Okay, and where do you feel this negative sensation? In the stomach, in the chest, in the body? Where do you feel it?
Through the body, the whole body.
And how intense do you feel it in the whole body
Um,
from 0 to 10?
shoulders mainly, probably 7.
Okay, so we have identified what we needed to identify. Now we're gonna do the commands. So guys, I want you to be very present while I'm doing the commands. It's gonna take me about 7 to 10 minutes to make the commands. So what we're gonna do to give you more clarity, once again, I'm gonna command to all of you that are present here and also that are watching the recording to remove each individual fear and negative emotion that we have identified on all of the 3 participants in their subconscious mind, and I'm going to apply the technique on each one of them individually and each one of you, and we will see how you feel after. So please be present. Once again, it's going to take me 10 minutes. Be present. You can close your eyes or do however you feel. Stay relaxed. Yeah, you don't need necessarily to meditate, but it's very important to not be disrupted. If you're gonna do other activities while I'm doing the commands is not gonna work. So be present and conscious. Okay, take a deep breath and let's start. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have this heaviness on your shoulders, the tension, the stress, the fear, and the negative sensation that you feel in your whole body right now, and all the timelines since this negative emotion has been installed into your consciousness that you feel right now like a heaviness in the shoulders, tension, stress, and fear throughout the body. I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots and be replaced with timelines where you feel happiness, joy, power, and fulfillment. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have this emptiness in your stomach, this sadness, fear, and tension in your stomach area, and all the timelines since this negative emotion has been installed into your consciousness that you feel right now in your stomach area, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots and be replaced with timelines where you feel happiness, joy, power, and fulfillment. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have this heaviness in your chest area, this rock, fear, and anxiety, and the negative sensation that you feel in the chest area, and all the timelines since this negative emotion has been installed into your consciousness that you feel right now like a heaviness, rock, fear, and anxiety in your chest. I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and be replaced with timelines where you feel happiness, joy, power, and fulfillment. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have this belief that I'm not capable of doing anything, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you are not capable of doing anything, I command to be taken from you and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are capable of doing anything and you are powerful and you trust yourself. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of his existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are sad and depressed, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you are sad and depressed, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are powerful and useful and free. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are not worthy and you are useless, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you are not worthy and you are useless, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are useful, worthy, and full of joy. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the fear of failure and you are afraid to fail, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you are afraid to fail, I command to be taken from you and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you have succeeded and you will always gonna succeed. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the fear to death and the belief that you're gonna die, and all the time since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you're gonna die and you are afraid to die, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you're gonna live a long and beautiful life and you are free. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you have no reason to live and you don't want to live anymore, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you have no reason to live and you don't want to live anymore, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you want to live and you live a long and beautiful life and you are free. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are left out and inadequate, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you are left out and inadequate, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are welcome, important, precious, and valuable. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you give up and you lost, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you give up and you lost, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you continue and you always win and you are excited. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are rejected from the society, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you are rejected from the society, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are important, precious, and valuable. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are in pain and suffering, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you are in pain and suffering, I command to be taken from you and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are happy and full of joy. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you have no desire to go forward and to live, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you have no desire and you don't want to go forward to live, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you have the desire to go forward and you want to live. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and on the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines of everyone that you feel and have right now, that you are unhappy and incomplete, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you are unhappy and incomplete, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are happy and complete. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the receptor centers for the old timelines, beliefs, and emotions and programs of you to close and to open new receptor centers for the new timeless beliefs, emotions, and programs. And take a few deep breaths in. And let's wait a minute to see how you feel, to see how you are. And take another deep breath. And you should feel the change in about 1 or 2 minutes. And by the way, I will leave the link where you can register for the free session, and I'm going to ask Rebecca, Angela, and Fatima to see how you feel, and we will take a few minutes to see how everybody is feeling. So once again, the last step is to see how you feel. Rebecca, how intense it is, first of all, the rock and the heaviness and the anxiety from the chest that you
It's
felt
fun.
before? How? Give me a
It's,
number. It's important to give me a number.
I would say it's a 1.
So it's been lowered from 10 to 1.
Yes.
And the fear of failure, how intense it is right now?
Non-existent.
How? Give me a number.
0.5.
Okay, amazing. So you don't feel it anymore. So the
I
anxiety
don't.
is gone. How
Yes.
was the experience? How does it feel to not have that fear anymore?
I have to say, I honestly feel much lighter.
Amazing.
I feel, yes, I feel not only lighter, but I feel prepared to do more. And I have to tell you, it's evening here. I have no business doing more at this time.
Amazing.
Uh,
Wow. Enjoy the change.
Thank you.
Enjoy the change. Let's see, Angela, how you are, how you feel. Oh, I think I removed you from stage. I was supposed to let me send you another request to come on stage, but I will also add you Fatima here. I wanted to just open your microphone, but I removed you. How are you, Fatima?
I feel lighter.
Okay. How intense it is the fear of failure now from 0 to 10?
Um, 0.
Okay, so it's been lowered from 7.5 to 0. Amazing.
Or
How was
maybe a 1, like minimal. Yeah.
amazing? How was the experience? How does it feel to not have that fear anymore?
It feels good.
Amazing. Did you had any expectations?
Sorry?
Did you had any expectations about this session, about this technique?
Uh, well, I just thought like my nerves or that I would like tense up, like it would kick in, but it did the complete opposite. So, yeah, it just made what felt um stuck to feel like released almost.
Amazing. Yeah, that's how the technique is working. And by the way, if you want to experience the technique on a much deeper level, you can register for the free session. Thank you so much and congratulations for your courage and for your results. And by the way, guys, I want all of you to write in the chat how intense and true it was the fear of failure in the beginning from 0 to 10 and how intense it is now. For example, as it was at Fatima, it was a 7.5 in the beginning and now is at 1. So I want all of you to write in the chat how intense and true it was the fear for you in the beginning and how intense it is now, the fear of the future of the failure. And also, Angela, if you are there, I've sent you a request to come on stage, but I'm not seeing you. Okay, so Anna Duman, it was 9 and now it was 0. Amazing, I'm laughing. Amazing to see you here again, Anna. So Martin, it was an 8, now it is a 2. Amazing, enjoy the change. By the way, Martin or Anna, if you want to come on stage and to share your experience, you are very welcome to do so. So I want all of you to write how intense it was, the fear in the beginning, and how intense it is now, from 0 to 10. So let's see all of the comments. So everybody that was present and has experienced the technique, just to write how intense it was, the fear of failure in the beginning from 0 to 10, and how intense it is now. So Angela, it was Oh, you're already here. So it was 11, and
Ah,
now it is at. Sorry to kick you out from the stage.
okay,
How do you feel?
good. I'm feeling much better. Yeah, it's down to 1.5. So yeah, I'm good.
Amazing, amazing. So how do
Nice.
you feel the negative sensation in the shoulders? You had a heaviness in your shoulders. How intense do you feel it now?
A lot looser, a lot looser. Yeah.
Amazing. How was the
Mm.
experience? How does it feel to not have that fear anymore?
Much better, much better. Yeah, so good. Feels good.
Did you had did you had any expectations about this technique, about this
Yeah,
experience?
I honestly didn't think it would work, and I'm feeling so much better. Yeah, so relief. Yeah.
Amazing. Enjoy the change.
Mm.
And by
Thank
the way,
you.
you can also register for the free session. So I just shared the Calendly link. You can just click to see your availability and my availability, and we can synchronize for a free session. And I want to share actually what is
Thank
the
you.
purpose of this free session, just to finish with the presentation, and then I'm going to take all of your questions. We're going to go into Q&A. So the purpose of this free private session is to see if you qualify to learn the technique and to work deeper with the facilitator. And basically it's important to experience the technique, and only if you see results and you like it, then you can take the decision if you want to continue and to learn the technique and to have this amazing ability that I have. So guys, I want you to also be very present. I'm offering you a free session with me or one of my facilitators. So take it strongly in consideration. And once again, the purpose is for you to see results and to see if it's working for you, and after that to take a decision if you want to learn it or not. And the way I work usually with people is in a mentorship program where you will learn the technique in a step-by-step recorded course. It's going to take you 3 hours to learn the technique and to learn everything that I know about this method, because it's very simple and very powerful, and you're gonna learn to do everything that I know. And we will also do 6 private sessions of 1 hour during 6 weeks. And see, these 6 private sessions is more than enough to reprogram literally all that list with main fears and limiting beliefs. And once again, each session is going to take 60 minutes, not like today where I've done 10 minutes of commands. Yeah, that's where we're going to go very deep. But once again, in order to qualify for that, you have to register for the free session and to see if it's working for you. Sorry for not coming on stage. It's 2 o'clock here. Okay, Martin, that's fine. You can register for the free session, and I will see you. And by the way, the first 5 people that will register will have the session with me. This week I have only 5 spots left, but you will be with the facilitator. Okay, so guys, questions. If you have questions, now I'm free to answer everything that you wonder. So guys, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat, or you can send me a request to come on stage, or you can type to come on stage and I will bring you on stage. And also, once again, here is the link to register for this free session, the Calendly link. Okay, and thank you so much, Angela, and everybody that was participated today on the stage. And if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat and I will answer you. As I said, here is just 10 in the morning, so I have a lot of time to answer whatever you want. Even you can ask me about Bali, about, I don't know, whatever you feel. Okay, Kirby, see you at the private session. Kirby Escobar. Very nice name. So guys, I think this is the end of the presentation. We are already live since 1 hour and 11 minutes. Thank you so much for showing up, and I will see you on the next webinars. If you have any questions for me, you can write me in the private. You have my WhatsApp number. Yes, we have the recordings. Text me in private, and I will send you the recordings as well. We have the YouTube channel that I just created with all of the webinars. Okay. And I will see you next time. Enjoy the change.